All right, folks, why don't we kick off the second half of today's seminar. We've got three presentations lined up for you this afternoon. The first is Brian Hill from NEB National. Brian has a real life job too. He doesn't just get to travel the country talking to wonderful groups like this. And I'll let him introduce himself, what he does day to day, and then give us all an overview on NEB from a national level and open it up to any questions you have. Brian?
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank you guys for not playing Aaron Rodgers over the weekend. My fantasy team was a little hurt, but my Chiefs got a win, so it was ugly. So anyway, my name is Brian Hill. I'm from Kansas City metro area, Lee Summit, Missouri. I work for Agritech Services as a professional engineer. I'm a TAB certified professional and clean room certified professional. Our firm is about 22 employees. We do clean rooms, fume hood testing, commissioning, TAB, kind of all sorts of stuff. So again, I'm on the NEB National Board of Directors, and see, this is my second term, so I got elected back in 2019. So see here, NEB overview. Of course, you guys have probably seen this slide before, but NEB was founded in 1971 by the Mechanical Contractors Association of America, Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors National Association, or SMACNA. So again, NEB overview. Currently, there are 675 plus certified firms, 1,995 certified professionals, 1,310 certified technicians worldwide. So NEB offers 8 certifications for firms, professionals, and technicians, and has 24 chapters worldwide. Here's kind of an overview of all the chapters. My home chapter is Great Plains, and you guys are up here in Wisconsin. Two different there. So again, what kind of certifications do we have as NEB? Like we mentioned, we have 8. So there's building envelope testing, technical building systems commissioning, clean room performance testing, fume hood testing, which I know a few of you were at last week, technical retro commissioning of existing buildings, sound measurement, testing, adjusting, and balancing, which is probably the most popular, and then vibration measurement. So again, from a CP standpoint, we have all those. From a firm standpoint, you have all 8 of those. And for a technician, you have commissioning, clean room, sound, vibration, sound, and then also vibration separately, as well as TAB. Here's kind of the overview of the whole certifications. So NEB leadership. So the new president is John Shepard out of Virginia. We have Phil Emery, who's president-elect. Luis Chinchilla, who's vice president. Mike Kelly, who just got moved up, he is our treasurer. And Amber Ryman is the past president. I know a lot of you, or maybe not a lot of you, had a chance to go to Hawaii to see Amber's 50th, or I guess it was NEB's 50th year, and it was also our first woman president. So big shout out to Amber for everything she did for the organization. And now we move on to John Shepard. So on the NEB board of directors, we have Patrick Law out of Florida, Roger Wavy out of Tennessee, Alan King out of Maryland, Brian Hill out of Kansas City, Brian Keller is out of Texas, Don Pitcher out of Colorado, Jonathan Lloyd. I know you guys may be wondering why his picture's upside down. Well, he's from the land down under, Australia. So he's our Australian member on the board. And then we also have Rodney Hinton from the Carolinas. NEB staff, volunteers are really the heart of the organization, but the NEB staff is what holds us all together. Tiffany Myers is kind of the heart of NEB, and she does a lot for us. Without her, there wouldn't be a NEB probably. Stephanie Hudson is our financial manager. Christina Spence is the executive assistant. So she helps Tiffany with a lot of the day-to-day activities. She gets pretty overloaded with everything else. And Christina is a great help to her. Christy Arbuckle is the exam coordinator. We've been working through a lot of the exams, and she's been a huge help there. Samaya is the firm coordinator. Sheila Sims, I'm sure we've all dealt with Sheila over the years. A lot of you are probably pretty familiar with her. Samantha Halla is our online training coordinator, which is a new big thing that NEB's working on, is our NEB Learning Center. We're going to give the opportunity to take some of these, classes online. You can just log in, you can get a lot of information there instead of having to go to, pack your bags, fly somewhere for a course. Then we have Jeff Schools. So I think Jeff probably couldn't get enough of NEB. He didn't get his national conference, so he's back as our technical coordinator. our technical director. But yeah, Jeff's a great guy. Firm recertification, it's that time of the year. So start recertification through Certelligence, always start early, because August 1st is when that opened. How many of you were there right at midnight clicking on the button to start your firm recertification? How many of you are done with your firm recertification? One. How many are due this year for your firm recertification?
Plenty of time, don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
you know, a couple holidays. In there.
That's right, no problem.
Exactly.
So what I learned is that 12/31 deadline is real, and Tiffany, someone else will actually be working on midnight to get that stuff in. So I want to be helpful at all to all the people who are involved in the review process. Try to be a little ahead.
Yeah. Tiffany never stops working. Like I said, she is really the heart of the organization. We get an email, on the board from her late at night. She's always doing something up the next morning, working on things. So her plate's pretty full, but again, as Jonathan mentioned, if you can try and get some of that stuff in early, we'd really appreciate that. So chapter deadline, update calibration sheets for required instruments, sign code of ethics, arbitration acknowledging compliance with NEB, OP, and bylaws, meet all firm requirements, including your DCP. You guys know what DCP is? You know who your DCP is. What's that?
Can you designate a certified professional?
There you go. So they're the one responsible for putting all your stuff in. They're supposed to be responsible for putting your stuff into Certelligence. Don't just hand that off to somebody else. So make sure you meet all firm requirements, including DCP for recertification and avoid late fees. The chapter approved submission sent to NEB by December 31st, and after December 31st, you start looking at late fees. And you might as well save yourself some money, get done early, and not pay late fees if you can. Firm deadlines and late fees. So NEB firms recertification opens August 1st. It's kind of a recap on the last slide. Last one.
Last one for individual. Firm. Last one's firm. Okay. It's kind of continuation of the last one there.
So after December 31st, annual fees must be paid. First late fee is assessed January 1st, February 1st. Second late fee is assessed and compounded, so that's another $250. And third late fee is assessed and compounded, $350. After April 1st, your firm is suspended. No one wants that. And then July 1st, it's firm decertification. You thought it took a while to get your firm certified. Well, try coming back and getting decertified. So instrument requirements, changes range from minor adjustments to significant changes. Changes include the following: ownership of sound measurement instrumentation. All instrumentation requirements in both US and SI units. Calibration requirements are clearly defined on a 12-month cycle. Cross-discipline reference of instrumentation. All range accuracy resolution defined. All certification, recertification applications must adhere to the current requirements. Has anyone had a chance to look at the new requirements? The big thing is going to be that 3-point calibration, NIST traceable 3-point calibration. I know you can't read this slide. It's on our NEB website. Speaking of which, there is a new website that we just rolled out, I think maybe within the last 5 days. But I highly recommend you look at those requirements. Again, 3-point, make sure you set your instruments out for 3-point calibration, because even a broken clock is right twice a day. But we want to make sure that your instrument's calibrated across 3 different points of range, not just, hey, it reads 250 CFM here, but your 2000 doesn't match up with 2000. Individual recertification. So start recertification through Certelligence, start early, be aware of deadlines for submission. If you have any issues, contact support@neb.org. That started August 1st. So by December 31st, you need to make sure you have all of your CECs or CEUs. Because of COVID, we dropped that down to 6 for certified professionals and 3 for certified technicians. I believe that's good through next year, but starting in 2023, it's going to be back up to the 12 for CPs and 6 for CTs. It's usually pretty easy if you come to these recertification seminars, you're covered. If you're a CP, you come to 2 of them, because it's due every 2 years. So come to these each year, you get your 12, or technicians get their 6. Make sure you sign the code of ethics and arbitration, acknowledging compliance with NEB bylaws and OPs. And then again, make sure you have that done by December 31st to avoid those late fees. Kind of the same thing here as that previous slide. So first late fee after December 31st will be $50 for CT, $25 for CT. By February 1st, $100 for the CP, $50 for the CT. March 1st, we just keep adding those late fees. And again, if you don't get that done by April 1st, individual suspended, and then July 1st, decertified. So again, I'll keep harping on this. August 1st, recertification open. December 31st, you need to have it done, or you should have it done by that point. If you like money, if you want to just throw it away, you can give it to me. And then after January 1st, late fees are assessed and counted. So Neb, it worked for you. Title 24, which is rolling out heavily in California. Our Neb was approved as an accepted test technician certification provider, ATTCP, on January 2016. Other states are watching closely and may follow California's lead. See what happens there. Applicants must pass written entrance exam to verify basic HVAC systems operation and engineering principles, and post-class written and performance exam. I don't know if any of you are too familiar with Title 24. And we may start seeing a sweep across the nation as it gets adopted, especially again by California, and the more and more they push for green, clean energy. So industry standards and representation. So currently we have an ANSI standard for technical retro commissioning of existing buildings and technical building systems commissioning. Neb is currently pursuing ANSI accreditation for both compounding pharmacies and cleanroom performance testing. The compounding pharmacy is a huge one that a lot of people have been asking for a while. We're hard at work for that. We're waiting for the new USP 797-800 to get released. We also have representation ties with ASHRAE, IFMA, IESP, IESP, Society for Pharmaceutical Engineers. We also are working on Neb Tech. I'm sure you guys have heard about this for a couple of years. We're working on it, working on it. You've got Jeff Schools taking the lead on that, working on getting that done. There's been a lot of progress with building out that space. It'll be located out there in Maryland. It's a 3,000 square foot location to conduct seminars and other learning activities. I know Matt was in Kansas City for the fume hood testing seminar, but we're working on getting the same exact setup in Baltimore. We're working on getting a clean room in there, so we can teach the clean room seminar, filter testing, particle counts. We'll also do tab out there, and hopefully just start conducting more of our business out in Maryland instead. So the second phase includes a hands-on facility with multiple clean rooms, water rig, air rig, sound and vibration equipment, and more. So are you interested in attending a seminar? Make sure you check out the website, the new website at that. It definitely looks a lot better. It flows better than the old one. It's a lot easier to navigate. Neb YPN, Young Professionals Network. I don't see a lot of people in here who qualify. No offense. Cutoff for that is 40 years.
If you're lucky, you'll get there one day yourself.
I know. I only have 9 years left, so maybe one. I don't know. Is anyone in here under 40? Two. Sorry, Matt. So again, the YPN was kind of designed to help some of these younger professionals get more involved in Neb. You look around the room, and a lot of you guys may own your business, and maybe just a few people. You want to retire at some point, so you want to get bought out. Who's going to buy you out? The younger people in the organization, younger people who are getting involved with Neb and test and balance commissioning, fume hoods, cleaners. So that really, they, Neb young professionals are the future of the organization. If anyone's interested, try and contact Tiffany. Typically there's a chapter liaison, but my guess is we don't have one here. Neb Bookstore, check that out. We just released the tab manual for technicians and the sound home study course. I think that was done actually a little bit before Hawaii. So those have been up probably since the end of September. You can get all your study materials for the tab and CPT exams, reference materials, calculation books, analysis guides, all your other handbooks. The Neb Professional, always keep track on that, or check it out when you get the email, or if you get the hard copy, see what's going on in Neb. And the 2022 annual conference will be in Charleston. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be in November November 3rd through 5th. So hopefully we'll see some of you guys there next year in Charleston. Any questions or comments about NEB? Sure.
Thank you for any more learning materials on learning center. I saw you had a technician class that recently, I think, but you're gonna have, classes.
We're working on that. So Samantha Al is kind of our, I guess, our e-learning kind of digital marketing type of person, and she's been working on these new classes. It's more of a matter of, us having the opportunity to go and film classes, get presentations put together and publish those on the website. So it's definitely a work in progress. And, it's one of those things that we wish we had before COVID happened, because I know a lot of people, we didn't have annual recertification seminars, or some people didn't have that opportunity to go. So if we have an online learning center, then it gives you an opportunity to get online and get CEUs as well.
Brian, can you talk a little bit about the anticipated changes that'll come chapter to chapter from a marketing standpoint? You talked about the NEB website, but there's also a push to the chapters both on the email and website side.
Yeah, that's my fault. So what we're trying to do is get some uniformity across NEB and each individual chapter's website. You try and get on there. I know Great Plains, my chapter, and this is actually in the chapter guidelines, that each chapter should have their own website. And then I don't know, Jonathan, do you guys do the website? So, if someone's trying to figure out more about web, where do they go? You don't have a website to get that information. You try and contact somebody, and it gets a little hard to find. So the goal is to take our NEB website, and then maybe you could go to webb.neb.org, and then you could get to the website. That'd be a good marketing idea, the website. In addition to that, we're also pushing for everyone to get, or each chapter to get their own email address. So you could email web@neb.org instead of just trying to email directly to Jonathan. Trying to get some consistency there from a marketing standpoint. If it's NEB official business, then I want to see it come from a @neb.org email address. No offense. Don, what was your email? SMACNA or MC?
It's our association, yeah.
Okay.
The alliance thing, but yeah.
Yeah, so we're just trying to get consistency there and to kind of draw a line between NEB and some of these other organizations. I know, you represent multiple organizations or you handle that business, so we wanted to see a dividing line in there.
So the outlook there is that it shouldn't impact anything that you all do for communicating with us. We're going to create, email forwarding chains and stuff to make sure it gets to people that need to get it. But for those who are new to it, I probably get, 2 to 5 requests a year about, well, how do I become a certified professional? If I wanted to create my own balancing firm, how do I do that? How do I get connected with NEB? What I recommend is this team is pretty new and really good, and you can see their different responsibilities there, which Tiffany's gone a long way in streamlining some of that stuff. But always include me, or it'll be web@neb.org, going forward, because that's why we're here, right? We help create that relationship and create those communication points. I'm still pretty new at this, like I said, so I'm then tapping these people on the shoulder to say, it's an individual thing, hey, Sheila, I've got this person who, is looking for the updated deadline, the updated this or that, and she helps me out, and then I can go back to you. It always helps if you include us so that we kind of know what's going on. And we'll roll out the new email address. The website will probably come around in the first quarter of 22. It won't be tremendously involved. A lot of it will be a link through to the to the neb.org website. But again, a place where you can get that information to timelines. Brian's going to see what of this slide deck he can share, because I think that thing about the timeline is really helpful. Just kind of slap that up in your office or on your calendar. It's August 31st. I got to do this. Oh, it's November here. I got to do that. So
We're just trying, like you were saying, trying to streamline everything, kind of consolidate it. That way it's not, someone on GoDaddy or HostGator trying to run a website, and then, people, move in and out of the organization, and then you might not have access to that anymore. So if NEB's running all of that, it definitely takes out that kind of loss of information.
Probably the most important person that you'll deal with at NEB will be the person that interfaces for the intelligence information that you have to load in for recertifications.
And that's also down to the chapter level too, to review those.
Right, first.
Do you have a listing, Brian, of like, I know we've got the national listing, while the international NEP chapters? I always thought that was kind of cool because they're in some countries you would never guess they were.
Right. But so a lot of those countries end up falling into like Capital Marva. It usually handles a lot of international chapters. Obviously, Australia's not listed on there. Anymore.
Yeah, so about half of these groups are a balancing bureau only. The other half are comboed with a SMACNA or an MCAA group. And then Capital Marva is the DC area. They pick up all the international stuff. So it's a lot of good progress. You know, it's good to see some board leadership turnover and all that stuff. And if there are people in your organization who you want to get into the balancing side, maybe that's a place for the young,
It's a young professional.
young professionals group. So again, just think about this stuff, utilize it as best you can. I mean, I always say you pay the dues for it anyways, might as well get as much out of it as you think is important.
And again, you know, it's all a volunteer organization except for the NED staff. So all the guys that are out there writing the new TAP procedural standards, the ANSI standards, all of that is volunteer time. So some of us get too involved with things. I was on the Young Professionals, the board, and the ANSI Standards Council, which oversees the development of the ANSI standards. So we all get stretched pretty thin. So it's good to see new faces in there, new people get involved, and you know, you definitely meet other people, you get new connections. Sometimes there might be a guy, I don't know, a couple states away that says, hey, I can't do this project. Are you interested in helping me out? And it's, you know, we all help each other out. So definitely enjoy being involved as much as I have. So looking forward to the next few years for myself and hopefully see some more of you get involved too.
Any other questions or comments for Brian? Whether he can answer them, kind of go back to the board and find answers.
Yeah, I
for him.
mean, if there's any questions, any concerns that you need me to take back to the board level, let me know. That's what I'm here for. Probably try and get out of here in the next half an hour. I've got to make my way back to Midway.
We'll share contact information, like I said, so yeah. Okay, so I was at the Packer game yesterday. 2 days ago. It was bad, really bad. I have a brother down there and I don't know if I should know them, but one of the things that they do really well in Kansas City is that their tailgate is better than Lambeau Field. It's better than Miller Park. It's better than anything around here, but they don't make very good brown water in Kansas City. So what I'm going to do is give that to you as a thank you. Like you said, as long as you're checking a bag, or you got to make quick use of it before you get on that airplane. And like I said, that's what we needed on Sunday after the Packers.
Those pilots can always use some help.
But thank you.
I appreciate it.
Great. Thanks, Brian.